calling. Any of you guys do calling?
Yep, I call.
Okay. What's your call? What's your calling? Like?
I'm usually a grunt or a doe bleat, and I don't necessarily have I have no system. I kind of just do
whatever feels right.
Yeah, whatever feels right. Yep.
Yeah. Do you like doing any sort of like sequences, like you're creating like or you just like
nope.
grunt? Just
I just grunt, every once in a while from first light to lunchtime I might grunt 5 different times blindly, and if I see something coming by or hear something coming by that's not gonna already come into a shooting lane, I'll try and use a grunt or a doe bleat to get it closer, and there's no system. It's just one or the other.
Okay. Uncle Mike?
Yeah, I grunt too. That's about all I do. I don't bleat very much. But if I'm on if I actually have visuals of does, I won't grunt. Unless I see a buck, and if it's doing something it's not going to come when I want to shoot. If I want to try to turn it my way, then I'll try to grunt. But if I have does by me, I typically, what more could you want? You got them.
Yeah.
So I'll stay quiet. My theory is too, if the buck's in a, if I don't see it, and if he hears me, he might come downwind of me and pick me off, Yep. So I'd rather we'll just wait it out, see if, see how it plays out. Then when it's in a good spot, grunt to him and try to call him in.
Okay.
But then, and say I'm on other spots, I'll just grunt every so often. Depends on, as the rut's heating up, I'll get more aggressive, and just grunt more, so.
Yeah, like you said, it depends on the setup too. If there's a good spot for them to circle downwind where you can't see them or have they might be less likely to do it.
I feel a lot of bucks will actually come in, but they won't snort. They'll smell you and they'll be gone and you don't even know it,
Yep.
I think that happens a lot too. So.
Yeah. Dad?
I do a lot of calling. I mean, not a lot, but I just about every set during the rut I call. It may be, every 20 minutes. It might be every 10 minutes. Might be once an hour. Depends on how I'm feeling that day. Just trying to read the situation, I guess. Mm-hmm. But to your point with the does, the year when I shot stickers, I heard some deep grunting going on in the chase. He was on some does, and I just started grunting and bleating, and all of a sudden I see these deer big body deer coming at me, and I got ready, and here was a big doe, and then there was 2 yearlings behind her. But I 100% believe that my calling brought them over my way. Right. And they went across, and then he followed them out. He was out about 50, 60 yards, no shot opportunity at all. And they kind of went over here and out of my life there, at least I thought. And then I started doing some more calling, and all of a sudden here come that doe group right in front of me at 30 yards, 35 yards, and he was following them. And then after the shot, I grunted, because I wasn't sure. I just wanted to calm them down. I didn't know. I thought I hit back further than I did, and that being a perfect shot. But so I started grunting right away to calm them down, and all of a sudden, once again, I see a big body coming through. I'm thinking, I'm going to get it, because I didn't know if I missed it that time, and because I kind of blacked out. And he's coming, and here's the mother and the 2 yearlings, and they stood by me for, I bet you, 20 minutes at 10 yards. They were kind of looking back too, waiting for that.
It's definitely a hot doe.
Yep. Sure. So I've not called because doe have been in front of me, especially when there's no buck. You're right. I'll just wait it out. But I do a lot of blind calling. And if there's a chase going on, I'm grunting. I'm trying to pull them bucks, especially if they lose the doe, or if there's one trailing behind like this, that mature buck I killed that I told you the story about. He was kind of trailing behind, and he was trying to short circuit and go into the noise, and then he locked eyes on my decoy and come right to me.
I was gonna say that the whole chasing thing and them. How many times do you see that where they lose the doe as they come out? I mean, last year it happened that time when my bow was on the ground, Thomas was on the ground. That deer came out. That was a giant deer, and he was right on her, but came out of the clear cut. She cut this way. He came out and didn't know which way to go, and then ended up coming right at us. Just I didn't have my bow, with me, but he's kind of grunting coming through. I think it's very situational when it comes to calling. I do a lot of blind grunting too, which I learned that from you a lot is blind grunting, but it's very situational. Like you said, if there's a spot where I feel like either they can pinpoint it's coming from the tree right there, I'm not as apt to do it. But if I'm in like a thick spot and I'm sitting on a creek bottom, I know my wind's going, my thermals are falling down the water, and I'm coming through, I can't really hear very well. They could be 60 yards out and I can't see them. I'm going to call a little bit more and try to, and I do some chasing sequences too of, doe bleating and then grunts falling up, burp, 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 coming through. But yeah, that's what I got to show you, Dad. I haven't showed you yet. I got a new grunt call because I like deeper sounding grunts. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. I just always like a deeper sounding grunt. And I think the one I had forever is a flex tone or a mad growl.
You had flex tone, and I think you had it might have been a mad growl. Or
yeah, I think maybe the mad growl is the one that I've used. You have the flex tone one that had looked like an antler kind of for a while, and I like both those. The sounds of them, they've been really good, and I've had a couple of call companies, because I've talked about grunting on here before, reach out and be like, hey, we try our calls, and I just haven't been a fan. But there's one in Pennsylvania called Cluck calls, and the guy actually I met him, and he's like, tell me what you think. He's like, no obligations, just tell me what you think. And he had one it's a grunt bleat where you inhale, it's a bleat, and you grunt, and it's a grunt, but you can moderate the tone from deep to a little bit lighter. And I like that a lot. And actually, I liked it enough where the only thing I haven't tested with yet, but he tells me, and I do trust him, that it works good when it gets cold, because sometimes they freeze up a little bit. But I asked him, I was like, hey, can I sell these on my website? Because they sound so good. But they're called the Cluck Rut Camp, I believe it is. It's a deeper sounding one, but it's pretty good. I haven't showed you it yet, but I've been practicing with it because I've never used one that does the inhale with the bleat. So that's taken me a little bit to be able to do it. But it's like heavy rubber versus like it's got the expandable tube, which I typically didn't like those ones as much, but it's like a heavier rubber like you'd see on the growl or the those other ones. But I don't know. I've always liked the deeper tone. The whole point of saying that was I like a deeper tone to a grunt versus the other tubes that you see with like the thin plastic, accordion style that just, I don't know, they just don't sound as good to me. But yeah.
One thing that when you are calling, especially with a grunt, direct your call to your shooting lanes. I've made a mistake over the years where I call behind a tree and I don't have a shot back there, and doesn't that buck circle? I mean, just it's just like a turkey. They know exactly where you're at.
Yeah,
they can pinpoint you exactly where you're at, and
that's a good.
So I try to call now and direct it towards my shooting lanes, and they may still want to circle downwind, but maybe not as far, and you get an opportunity on it.
Good tip.
That is a good tip, because I always do it. I try to do it behind the tree sometimes. I hope that they don't know I'm in a tree.
Well, and more now, I'm kind of directing it down towards the ground. Instead of, so it doesn't sound like, he's up in that tree.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed this conversation, share it with your buddies. Leave us a rating, a review, and subscribe. If you want to check out more content like this, there's plenty in the links below. We truly appreciate having you guys along with us.